So yeah, some wild things happening around the First Descendant. Let me tell you what, one player did the absolutely impossible. It took a ton of patience. We've got to check this out together. Plus, two of the best weapons going head to head. Which one is ultimately better? Plus, we're going to be talking about, yes, how some players are taking their positive review and switching that over to negative because of this reason. And we got to talk about, yes, even more hate for Bunny. I don't know what is going on here. But yeah, we got to dive into that as well. And performance issues, what you can do to fix stuttering and other issues that you may be having. But yeah, we'll dive into this first right here. It says the First Descendant community reacts in disbelief as one player grinds for 200 hours to unlock every ultimate descendant. Yes, it's time to touch some grass. So this is absolutely insane. So check it out. It goes on to say this. The grind associated with unlocking ultimate descendants without paying money is immense as players face some extreme drop rates for essential items, but that hasn't stopped players from giving it a good go. One player, however, has taken the grind to extreme levels, putting in 200 hours over the course just of a few weeks to unlock all the ultimate descendants. That is on average 14 hours of playtime a day. Holy crap. This is from Redditor Chicha112, who showcased their eye-opening achievement here, as you can see right here. This is mind-boggling. Now, Chicha112, who plays on PC, explained that they are a veteran of Warframe. What a surprise there. So he's very, very familiar with grinding. And he says this, there's a lot of questions in the whole thread that I have tried to answer. But honestly, when it comes to tips, it just comes down to making sure you're strong enough to tackle the content efficiently and then grinding it out. No special tricks or super tips to get ahead as far as I know. It seems like also you have to have the time. He expands on this, saying that he had the extra time. His play time is 200 hours. Another good tip, he says, is to keep in mind having a good foundation to grind these characters is very important. You got to have, of course, that strong weapon and decently built a character that lowers the farming time by a lot. He gave an example. Furthermore, he says, I used my first energy capacitor and a couple of crystallization catalysts on my base non-ultimate bunny while I was going through the game very early on to minimize my time spent. So yeah, it sounds like he had a plan going into this one. And again, he was intimately familiar with these types of games thanks to Warframe yet again. And let me know if you guys have been able to unlock any of the ultimates without putting up any cash. I'm kind of curious, or if you've just laid down the money and like kind of given up on the grind at a certain point. I'm just enjoying the game for what it is. I have, purchased one character and then I might purchase another. We'll see. But yeah, what about that weapon showdown? So check it out right here. It says this, Tamer is not a good gun. Whoa, shots fired. It says the DPS is good, but it's not that good. The DPS is barely better than the Thunder Cage that you are given for free, but the Tamer slows your movement speed to a crawl. You are going to be eating every bullet coming your way if you use this thing. Its default reload speed is also terrible. Thunder Cage over the Tamer. Do you agree with this or not? I'm currently using my Thunder Cage. I just love the electricity boom that it gives you. I think it's just really, really cool to be able to have that like area effect damage as well. But also, let's expand on this. It says, are you a bunny man? And the response here is Viessa. Yeah, I'm also playing as Viessa, as you can see. And then we got some input here. It says, what I like about the Thunder Cage is the area of effect. Exactly. But the reloading sucks. Remember, by the way, if you didn't know this, which I'm sure most of you do know this, once you get to halfway point of your reload, you can roll and it will just automatically reload the weapon the rest of the way. So yeah, there's that. And then it says, yeah, the reloading sucks, too frequent. If I improve it, I need to sacrifice damage. Tamer seems to be better used on bosses. There are gamers that I call them technical. They bring the numbers and give instructions, usually with edgy builds to maximize something to be the most effective as possible. I'm not against it, but I really dislike when I feel compelled to play as someone else's style because the game makes things too difficult. Unfortunately, a lot of gamers are balanced like that. Games are balanced like that, excuse me, taking in consideration the technical players with their found metas and start with nerfs. Interesting. Yeah, I hope he's not suggesting that there should be nerfs. I don't think there should be nerfs whatsoever on any of the weapons or anything like that. But yeah, Thunder Cage is a lot of fun. You do have to sacrifice, some elements because of that reload speed. Try to get that down. Let me know how you guys are enjoying Tamer versus the Thunder Cage. It's a big discussion right now. Also, yeah, check it out right here. It says, changed my review from positive to negative because of drops. I have 9 of the same patterns and nothing to do with them. Loot box system is broken and not fun. You should have borrowed the Warframe system. You borrowed every other system. There's so much opportunity to innovate here, and the dev team did nothing too bad. And some people replied saying, well, to each their own. It's your opinion. Go for it. And others are saying, hey, I'm still enjoying the hell out of the game, despite some of the issues with the drop rates. Again, we should be hearing from the dev team sometime soon. I'm hoping actually tomorrow on the 18th, perhaps we hear from them about what could potentially be going on with drop rates, because we will be getting news about that next patch very, very soon. So that might even roll out, I'm not going to say tomorrow, but it could potentially roll out like that soon. Now, also, we have this sentiment right here. Warframe is just better. Imagine playing a Nexon game in 2024. You guys deserve to get scammed with that in-game shop and drop rates. Whoa. Well, he actually got some ribbons here. It says, better for returning veteran. Newcomer will stuck on single player limbo most of the time until they move on to the next star system. Yeah, I've heard time and time again people saying Warframe is just better, but there's a big asterisk there. It's extremely tough to get into, and that's why a lot of people are getting into the First Descendant. This is the start of a franchise, and they can get in on it right at the beginning, and it seems like this one's going to be structured for it to survive in the long term, given that it is going to have seasons and that sort of structure. I think that's super important to this one. But yet again, players are calling out Bunny. It says, ban Bunny, please. No skill messing up loot tables. I think this is an extreme statement. Banning Bunny is just absurd. It says, with her AoE, you don't get enough hits in, you get crap loot. Can't compete with no skill kills. Please, for the love of God, ban her or make a solo. Sick and tired of using other tunes, farming only to have a freaking rodent roll up and steal all the good loot. Pay attention. Don't believe me? Kiss you good loot goodbye. Loot is individual based on damage dealt. Please prove me wrong. Yeah. I hope the team actually expands upon this exact issue and tells us what's going on with the loot. So it seems like maybe they want players to play as Bunny. That could be the strategy. And then buff up other characters so you have a chance per season to rotate onto a new character experience. I'm trying to think if that's what they're doing. I know Diablo 4 has the same habit of saying, hey, this season, we're really going to highlight this character this time around. We've seen that happen time and time again. I'm thinking that might be what they do here, where they say, hey, you know what? We are buffing these characters this season. Let us know what you think. Try them out. Have fun with them. Let me know if that's something you guys are actually down for or not. But yeah, some of you guys are actually having performance issues as well. Check it out. It says, performance is awful. Is it just me? I have a 970K, 3080, 64 gigabytes of RAM, which is above the recommended specs, and the game defaulted too low and still ran at what felt like subpar 30 frames per second on low. DLSS helps a bit, but it's still unplayable even on the lowest setting because it jumps all over the place. And some replies here says, 3080 is trash, need a 5090. It's probably your CPU, to be honest. It's a 5 generations old. Yeah, if you get like a really old CPU in there and your graphics card is new, you got to have a really, really good CPU with a lot of these newer games, at least in my personal experience. But one thing that I have been running into is stutter, which was a discussion right here. Fix the stuttering. I don't have fun. I love the game, but please, God, it's so horrible. Yeah, it's not like absolutely game breaking for me, but it is noticeable. That's the one thing about performance is those weird oddities with stutter. So I hope they get on that. But there was a post here that offers some insight on how you can fix long preparing shaders issues. It's kind of a long-winded post. I am going to leave this in the description below if this is an issue for you. But I did see some replies here. It says, it worked for me. Thank you. So that has helped people for sure improve the at least loading times there for preparing shaders if you have that issue currently. All right, so let's go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up in a future video. Let's do this. So what are you guys saying here? It says, I was farming for my Thunder Cage, dupes last night, and this one guy named Lewis stuck with me while I was farming my 3 codes. He only needed 1 left by the time I was finished and stuck with him until he gave up. Shout out to Lewis, a real G for suffering with me. Nice. Now that right there is teamwork. It says, I heard it best. 20% drop rate means 80% chance to fail. Just remember that one. But a lot of people are saying it's much more severe than 20% drop rate. And then we have Warframe look nothing like it does now when it launched. Destiny has completely changed as well. I'm looking forward to seeing how the First Descendant evolves going forward. That's the exciting part. I feel like we have such an excellent foundation right now. I do think that there is a variety here in the like actual open worldness, I guess you would say. The different maps. I know it's not completely open world, but the different maps that you can explore. It's just they need to up the variety with the boss arenas, that sort of thing. And I really am excited to see what they do with the new dungeons. And of course, I'm a little worried about some things, though. They did say they're going to change some of the dungeons as well, add traps, which could affect the flow negatively. So they got to be careful with that. But yeah, overall, very excited to see what happens with the future of this one. And it seems like, again, they are very in tune to their audience, their needs, and they make changes very, very quickly based off of that. All right, next up, we have this one right here. I just want to change the color of my default skin. We'll see if they make some comments about that. Wonder if they will fix the aimbot of mobs. I hate that I can't sidestep and run for my life. Yeah, so there might be some adjustments there as well. I'll keep you guys in the know, of course, but thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more First Descendant and, of course, open world gaming goodness. Look out. Remember, I did try the Spiritborn class, which is coming to Diablo 4. There might be footage dropping of that very soon, my impressions of that. I'll give you guys my honest opinion, but thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.